current climate for me, it's, what's happening to immigrants. That frightens me. It keeps me up at night, knowing that there's so much bias and so much racism and so much ignorance. I worry for people of color all over this country.
Oh my God.
We got Michelle Obama. This is the last topic of the day, and then we're going to wrap it up. Last topic of the day, Michelle Obama. Can we share this tab? Yes, we can. All right, we're live. All right, let's get your thoughts.
In this current climate for me, it's, what's happening to immigrants. That frightens me. It keeps me up at night, knowing that there's so much bias and so much racism and so much ignorance. I worry for people of color all over this country.
That was former First Lady Michelle Obama speaking out on the Jay Shetty podcast this week after he asked about her fear of people getting in trouble based on the color of their skin. And as you heard, the current deportations in America are keeping her up at night. Yes, so she also said that was something keeping her up at night. I feel obligated to bring up the fact that Barack Obama also deported a lot of people, as did every other president, and I think there's a little bit of hypocrisy here on immigration when, you're right, there are plenty of deportations under Democratic administrations. This is like when the kids in cages thing became a thing, and they're showing you the pictures, and actually the pictures are from the Obama years, because that is one of the roles of the federal government, is to deport people who are here in this country illegally. I don't agree with every single enforcement action the Trump administration is taken, but we did not just, contrary to what you might think, we did not you, but the viewer, some theoretical person, we did not just magically start doing deportations for the first time when Trump came into office. This is something that has continued under every administration.
So she says that she's losing sleep, and she's trying to make the connection to migrants, illegal migrants. So, of course, y'all know, and look at Vons, my girl Michelle. This is what I mean, Vons. You'll celebrate everything that Michelle just said. You'll clap for her because that's your girl Michelle, because they fooled you with the symbolism. Now she's on TV, can say whatever she wants. See, Michelle Obama can say anything, and somebody like Devon is going to support it. Women that watch The View, they're going to support it. They won't be critical and say, oh, Michelle Obama's losing sleep over migrants being deported. That's so sad. But then when you look at the actual numbers, Trump in his first term deported, hold on. I think Trump, it says that he deported 1.1 million. 1.1 million. And so far in this current year, with him being president, he's deported 139,000. How many did Barack deport? Barack Obama deported approximately 3 million people, making him the U.S. president with the highest number of deportations in history at the time. Was Michelle Obama losing sleep over that too? He's nicknamed the deporter in chief. And his crisis, even though this migrant crisis has been going on for a very long time, he wasn't dealing with the crisis that Trump is dealing with currently, where Joe Biden and Kamala Harris just decided to open up the doors and incentivize people to come here illegally. He wasn't dealing with it at the same rate that I would say that Trump has now have to deal with it. But Michelle Obama will jump on this podcast and act as if she's moved by what's happening because a white man is doing it, but didn't seem to ever have this energy about Barack. And you would think that if she's sitting here calling out losing sleep over something that Donald Trump is doing, that she would have the decency to also say, well, I know my husband did it, or justify it however you want.
Sorry to interrupt the video. We got a new challenge.
20,000 by the end of April. We fell short in March, but we're going to get our goal this month. Thank you all in advance for those that are going to continue to like, subscribe, maybe even leave some comments and let us know how we're doing. And on that note, let me let y'all get back to the video, and I'll see y'all soon. Ew. But what did we say earlier when it came to the stat on that the Black Media page put up about the number of children that are growing up in two-parent households has reached over 70% for the first time? They gave their 2020 numbers, even though in 2023, the last study came out and said that it's 72%. But they left out the fact they're going to put a Black family, but leave out the fact that amongst Black people, it's only 44%. What did we say? It's because people don't read. It's because people just look at stuff on the surface. It's because of stuff on the surface. Hold on, here we go. Look at Vons with the talking points. He's deporting without due process. He's also deporting citizens. Is Donald Trump deporting citizens? I don't know. I know that he was deporting people with green cards, which I did not like. But is he deporting citizens? And you see the thing that just happened? Vons can't even address the fact that what Barack did. So if they had due process and his numbers were still higher than Donald Trump, what does that say? Damn, how many people were they actually trying to deport, Vons? How many people was Barack Obama actually trying to deport? If he deported 3 million and they all had due process, that's a lot of people. Did you give January 6ers due process? Did you fight for people with January 6th to have due process? Or were you cool with them just being locked up? For the rest of y'all calling it an insurrection, did you fight for them to have due process? Oh, okay. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. Please make sure y'all like and subscribe. Let's keep going with this. Let's keep going. See what they got to say. See what my boy Robbie got to say.
I think there's one key distinction here, and I didn't see the whole interview, so I don't know if this came up.
Here you go, Vons.
The distinction is that the deportations that occurred under Barack Obama were, first of all, they were prioritized in a very specific way that set convicted, that's the key word here, convicted individuals who were described as a threat to national security, a threat to border security, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the focus was on those who had done violent things, and again, they went through due process. What we're seeing here under this administration, and perhaps this is what the former First Lady, my forever First Lady, Michelle Obama, was referring to,
My forever
is that
First
we're
Lady.
seeing no due process. You're seeing people rounded up. In fact, at the Michigan rally, they played not once, but twice that social media video that the administration had put together, you know, with the people with all the guns and the lines of the individuals that are sent to the El Salvador prison. You're seeing this kind of fanfare, and in fact, it's for individuals who we don't know one way or another. We don't know definitively whether or not they are actually guilty of the things that this administration says they are. It's part of the reason why you're seeing the pushback from the courts.
Well, it depends which case we're talking about. If we're talking about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the case that has most captured the media's attention, Maryland father, I have very little doubt that this person is a member of MS-13, as the government has suggested and did prove in his initial court case. It's not true that he didn't get due process. He got a process. The government has admitted they should not have deported him to El Salvador. They could have deported him to literally any other country. There was an order not to send him specifically to El Salvador. Fine, they made a mistake on that. They should try to get him back. But he is an El Salvadoran native. He is back in El Salvador. He is affiliated with a terrorist-designated gang.
Can I ask a question? Because I always hear people say due process. And Steve, I kind of like, I always have a question mark when people say due process. So Vons, can you explain to me what due process is? Because I don't know what it is. I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, what is due process? Once they find out that What exactly is due process? Matter of fact, let me. I'm gonna keep the video going. I'm gonna try to ask ChatGPT. But Vons, please explain to me what due process is. I'm telling you, I really don't know what it is regarding this.
Saw some additional reporting by the New York Post. If you needed additional proof that he was in fact connected to MS-13, there was a court action with his I believe this was wife's father, telling the police, in fact, that he shouldn't be able to see her because he was a member of MS-13 from a while ago. So I think some in the media are looking at this with like rose-tinted glasses, some of these cases. That doesn't mean that people should be sent to some prison without due process. I am all for due process, and I criticize it when it's not taking place. But this case that has really gotten a lot of attention, is really in the spotlight, I think the media may have overreached here.
Well, and it's gotten a lot of attention in part because
they're going to visit him.
Senators
are going to. Why are they going to visit? Like, but does anyone seriously doubt that he is in fact a member or was a member of this gang?
Well,
I
don't know. I haven't seen all of the things that you're describing here, Robbie, but I have seen this sitting president use an image of tattoos on his knuckles again and again, which were clearly, very, very clearly photoshopped. I mean, literally, one could have done that at home. He doesn't have tattoos on
his knuckles. That's correct. That is not a piece of evidence.
And so the reason I bring it up, though, Robbie, is that it's very difficult to take this administration at its word. And I think it is still to be shown whether or not...
Hold up. I'm glad. Shout out to Mama Lay. Mama Lay, I got a question. What citizen was recently deported to Honduras? What citizen was recently deported to Honduras? Please, somebody, before we move forward, somebody answer this in the chat. I just want to know. Somebody help me out here. All right. So the reason why I'm pausing, because I'm looking for an answer, because when I just looked it up, it reminded me of this 2-year-old, if that's what you're talking about, the 2-year-old that was deported to Honduras. And the reason why I sat here, hold on, because I want to look up, this is what I was, this is why I ask questions. Hold on. Tom Homan, 2-year-old deported to Honduras. I'm going to tell you why I paused. Let's look at this video, because let's just look at the video. Let's look at the video. Hold on. Because I believe this is the situation that you're talking about with the 2-year-old getting deported to Honduras. I want to play this for you guys. Hold on. Can I get it on full screen? Share this tab instead. All right, boom. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. There we go.
From day one, that if you enter this country, I'd said from day one, that if you enter this country legally, it's a crime. If you remain in this country legally and you ignore a judge's order about deporting, if you choose to have a U.S. citizen child, knowing you're in this country legally, you put yourself in that position. You put your family in that position. What we did is remove children with their mothers who requested the children depart with them. This was a parental decision. Parenting 101. The mothers made that choice. And I tell
Mama Lay, you got to give me a name. Who was the person? Because this is the situation that when I just looked on ChatGPT, it reminded me of something that I heard where they were saying, they were marketing it as a U.S. citizen getting deported to Honduras and saying that it was a 2-year-old girl who was the citizen of America, which is why a lot of people come over here that aren't citizens when they're 9 months pregnant to have a baby here. So therefore their baby will be a U.S. citizen. But the story that I was told is that the dad tried to get the daughter to stay, but the mom wanted the 2-year-old to go with her. So that in this situation, the 2-year-old was not forced to be deported. could have stayed here, but if your parents are, what exactly do you suggest? Do you want kids to go with their parents? Do we not want kids to go with their parents? If the mom decides, no, the child's coming with me, and let's say the dad wants the child to stay here with friends, family, grow up in the system, I don't know. So now we're saying, let's just keep going. I just want to know. You just got to let me know what's the person's name if you have it. Let's continue.
The story today be Trump administration separating families again. No, we're keeping families together. So when a parent says, I want my 2-year-old baby to go with me, we made that happen. They weren't deported. We don't deport U.S. citizens. The parents made that decision, not the United States government. But I don't hear any questions about.
Did you hear what he just said? Now we can correct him if he's wrong. But this is in my issue. This is the issue that we face, where the media on one side will present an argument one way, the other one will say, we don't know what's the truth. So we have to do a little bit more digging. Listen to what he just said.
They weren't deported. We don't deport U.S. citizens. The parents made that decision, not the United States government. But I don't hear any questions about. Laken Riley had a mother. She's never going to see her child again. Rachel Morin, she had 5 children. Those children are never going to see their mom again. This administration is doing the right thing. Every public safety threat we arrest in this country and remove them, this country is much safer. So parents will make a decision what happens to their child. Having a U.S. citizen child does not make you immune from our laws. If that's the message we send the entire world, enter the country legally. It's a crime. Don't worry about it. Get order removed by an immigration judge. Don't worry about it. No one's looking for you. And have a U.S. citizen child, and you're immune from our laws, you're never going to fix the border. People will keep putting themselves in harm's way. More women will die.
See, this is what he's talking about with Vons. See, look at what Vons wrote. Vons wrote, no, that's how my family got here. He bugging. My grandma had kids when she wasn't a citizen. See, Vons thinks because something benefits him. This is the problem with our world. We all are supposed to have principles, morals, and values. But when we just do things that are beneficial to us and excuse our principles, values, and morals, then we're going to have a world of chaos because there's no rules to stand by. It's just literally, oh, I'm just going to do what suits me in this instance, but if somebody else does it, I'm not cool with it. Or if it's against the law, then, oh, wait, what's the law? Does it benefit me? Okay, I don't like that law. Oh, it benefits me? Okay, I like that law. We can't, look at what Vaughn said. No, that's how it helped my family. Okay, cool. This is where we go left. This is where we go left. In Iraq, I want to bring up I believe you gave a situation. You said, so there's a guy at my work that was detained just 2 weeks ago. They held him 2 days for investigation. He was cleared and released, but they did make him apply for citizenship. He's a mechanic. He's got a criminal record for stealing a car when he was 16, and they were still able to clear him because he hasn't violated any more laws. That sounds like due process to me, Vons. I didn't tell Iraq to give this story. That sounds like some pretty good due process. You're not a citizen, so you're here illegally. They did a 2-day investigation. He was cleared, even though he actually got in trouble at 16 years old. Now, I'm glad that they decided, like, oh, he hasn't committed any more crimes after that. So what are we really saying here? What are we saying? And Mama Lay. So Mama Lay said, I'm referring to an adult. Honest wrote, U.S. citizenship laws are specific and have their own due process steps to be followed. Normally means that someone has established that there's a question about someone's right to be in the country. Due process is guaranteed under the Constitution for U.S. citizens. If you have not achieved citizenship and are an illegal alien, then due process doesn't apply. My understanding is. And Steve, it's funny. That's another example of when you hear it on 2 different channels, it sounds differently. When I heard somebody on CNN describing it, they were saying that it's not just for citizens. It's just for people who are in the country. Now, that obviously is a convenient way of that person looking at it, perhaps. But I don't know. Is there something clear that says it? Let's hold on. So Mama Lay said, sorry, it was El Salvador. Hold on. Mama Lay, we're going to have to look it up. What U.S. citizen, I'm asking ChatGPT, was deported to El Salvador? I actually do think I heard of something like this, actually. Let me look it up. Let's see what ChatGPT. They've been coming through for us. It is ChatGPT, so we do got to say that. Yes, a U.S. citizen was deported to El Salvador in a controversial case involving Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a longtime Maryland resident. Abrego Garcia. They're talking about, hold on. Oh, so this is about Abrego Garcia. They worded this very wrong. They're making it seem like involving, a controversial case involving Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Oh, so this is the Kilmar Abrego Garcia situation. Mama Lay, was there another one? And they're calling him a U.S. citizen. Damn, ChatGPT, you getting real liberal on us. Wasn't Kilmar Abrego? Oh, he wasn't a U.S. citizen. What was he? Was Kilmar Abrego Garcia a U.S. citizen? Uh-oh. Look at what ChatGPT then wrote. No, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was not a U.S. citizen. That's crazy. That's why you always got to check this ChatGPT. It says, yes, a U.S. citizen was deported to El Salvador in a controversial case involving Kilmar. So it says involving, but they don't say everything else is about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. So was it somebody else? But then everything's about Kilmar Abrego. Yeah, so I don't know. You got to get, if you give me a name, we can address it later on. But I don't know of any U.S. citizens. I don't know if, hold on. You just sent it to me. Oh, Abrego Garcia? No, I don't think he was a U.S. citizen. Matter of fact, wasn't he ordered? The issue with Abrego Garcia, and from my understanding, is not that he was deported. It was that he was deported to El Salvador. People were upset that he was deported to El Salvador because the courts, they said that they put like two deportation, they decided to deport him twice, but they said that he couldn't be deported to El Salvador. Why? Because of a rival gang that was in El Salvador. So the issue was whether or not he could be sent to El Salvador. That was the whole due process issue there, where they said that they made a mistake, or they said that the Trump administration made a mistake, and therefore the guy should, even though he's an El Salvadorian citizen, because it said that he shouldn't be deported. It's confusing. It's confusing, but this is all they got to do is put out a headline, and a lot of times we start thinking this stuff. So let's let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up here. I wanted to close off on a hold on. I had a different video that I was going to close off with, or just to talk about, but let me just finish it off this way. Accountability is a must. I heard somebody say that, I think we may have even included it in the show, maybe not, but there was I forget exactly where, but it was something saying that the things that we accept, we choose, or something like the things we choose to do. I forget exactly what the quote was, but it's pretty much my takeaway was, if we continue to accept certain things, if we continue to make certain decisions that are going to put us in certain positions, then we are choosing those things. If we do not take control of our health, then we are choosing to be unhealthy. If we do not take control of our finances, then we are choosing to put ourselves in bad financial positions. All of these different things. And I'm realizing in a lot of different areas, I wanted to talk about the Paul Pierce thing, but I'll save that for Monday, because that was kind of how I wanted to break down the show. But I'm realizing more and more that, especially when it comes to, and I think it shows up in the relationships between men and women, when you allow certain things, when you're nice and allow certain behavior, when you allow Shador Sanders to behave a certain way, people start to believe that they're right. Nobody likes to be the guy, the one that's going to bring discipline, the one that's going to stand on certain things. But everybody likes the guy that allows, oh, women can dress however they want to dress. Oh, Shador can act however he wants to act. He should still be chosen first round by those racist NFL owners. Angel Reese should be able to dress as sexual as she wants and still complain that she's being sexualized. All these different things. My main thing is, and I think Unc just put it, nice guys finish last. This one is specifically for the fellas. Stop trying to, look, we all should grow as leaders and we all should grow as just people, human beings, all these different things. But I talk about it all the time as far as how pacified and how simpish and how weak our men have become. And we've condoned so many things that it puts us in a position to where now we don't want to be, we just want to continue being the nice guy, and the nice guy doesn't get stuff done. Stand on what you stand on. Hold that person that you're dealing with, hold people in life to the same standard that you hold yourself to, the same standard that they would want you to hold yourself to. Stop allowing people to walk all over you. And I'm talking to myself because I do it as well. People will never learn when you ask them. Unfortunately, maybe there's a small few. And to the people that do learn when you ask them, the people that you just have to ask them, hey, can you change this? You know, can you work on this? And they actually do it. And they don't get that same level of energy in return. Leave them. Move on. Move on, King. Find something else. It's not right and it's not good for anybody. All you're doing is condoning bad behavior and asking for different behavior. But meanwhile, your actions and your decisions are condoning the bad behavior. That's why teams didn't pick Shador maybe in the first or second or third round. Because they did not want to condone bad behavior or just behavior that they didn't mess with. You ain't even got to say it's good or bad. It didn't align with what they wanted for their particular team. So fellas, do the same thing. We live in a world where, oh, we're just supposed to accept women however they are. You know, just accept me for who I am. I don't want to be with a guy. I had a conversation yesterday with a homegirl that talking about she don't want to be judged by a man. I said, what? I said, what are you talking about? You mean you don't want to be, based on the pictures that you put out on Instagram, you definitely want to be judged by a man. But you just want to be judged favorably. You just want men to say great things about you. And as soon as somebody calls you out on your behavior, not being aligned with the things that you say that you want in life, then you don't want to be judged. Fellas, stand on it, bruh. The generation before us of men, I'm sorry to say it, y'all failed us. And if we do the same thing, then we'll be failing the next generation. We are the leaders, bro. I look around at this Shador situation, a lot of other situations, and I'm just looking at it like, look how emotional and emasculated and feminized people's approach are because they're just so in love with Shador and Dion that they can't even have the courage to call out bad behavior or behavior that just doesn't align with the things that Shador says he wants. You got Deion Sanders over here talking about, oh, this ain't God, this the devil. It's the devil that his son went to the 5th round. Well, who's the devil? Who's actually responsible for it? Are you taking some accountability for that? We are living in fucked up times. The leaders before us, they did not, it just is what it is. And let me be very clear, when I'm 50, 60, 70 years old, inshallah, When I hit those ages and I'm looking back at the next generation, if the next generation is moving how our generation is moving, then I will say the same thing about myself, the same way that I call out stuff with Donald Trump and hold myself accountable to the things that I voted for. Now, I didn't get to do my first 100 days with Donald Trump. I'll do that on Monday. We are living in an emasculated society, and it's creating chaos. We are living in a society where Michelle Obama is not even happy. She's over here miserable. Barack got to deal with her miserable ass. And this man is what? Just only the most successful. Like, Barack Obama is rocking out with Michelle Obama. He didn't leave her. He didn't get caught doing a Bill Clinton with Monica Lewinsky. He's rocking out with her and she's complaining about it. You watch her show, every other second she's complaining about Barack Obama because women are so damn entitled right now. Your fathers fucked you up. They wanted to be your besties. They wanted to raise you to be women that they would never even consider dating. Fellas, stand on business, bro. Stand on business. If you work hard, if you're doing your thing, if you're living in your purpose, there's certain things, we're not compromising our purpose over any woman. And y'all can tell from the emotion I'm pointing the finger at myself first and foremost. I don't care who it is. Fellas, we got to bring everything to the table. We got to be correct. We got to be judged, all this other stuff. We got to perform at a high level. Meanwhile, women just doing bare minimum, just whatever to get by. It doesn't even matter the life that you provide for somebody. You could provide an amazing life to somebody. Are they helping you with your stuff? Let me not make it too personal. Life is amazing. Life is amazing. It's all decisions. Fellas, stand on business. We have to. And I'm putting it on camera to make sure that I hold myself accountable to that same standard. Stop getting caught up in what our parents got caught up in. And when I say our parents, I mean our daddies. Stop getting caught up in it. We see how this stuff happens. I had a family member of mine who's supposed to be educated, all this other stuff. She's a black woman talking about she likes what Jasmine Crockett's doing. She likes what she represents. This is what happens when you have an entitled group of people that you convince are victims. They can do no wrong. And they only see things that benefit them from a selfish and self-absorbed perspective. But if you say that, you'll get in trouble. You're offending me. Why? By calling you selfish? By saying exactly what it is? Fellas, stand on it, yo. To all the fellas, man, keep doing your thing, bro. This society will try to make it seem like we're not living up to our standards. Perhaps in some ways we're not. And we need to level up. We need to level up. And what also comes with that is holding everybody else to that same standard, all right? On that note, let's take our 45 seconds. I probably need them just as much as y'all today. All right, 45 seconds. Y'all know what we do at the end of every show. Get your breath work in, get your meditation, manifest, whatever it is. Y'all know it's Friday, so every week we set out to make this our greatest week ever. Hopefully we put ourselves in a position to do just that. All right, so let's take 45 seconds. I'm going to close my eyes. You guys do whatever's best for you, and we'll begin that now. One last exhale out, exhaling all the BS, inhaling all the good energy. Life is amazing. Y'all know we come here to do elevate on purpose, both from an intentional standpoint, challenging ourselves to raise our standards to become the best leaders we can become and to grow into the people that we need to become in order to accomplish these amazing goals that we set out for ourselves. All right. Strength and honor, onward and upward, get to that bag, all the little things that are going to make sure that you are aligned properly with your purpose, getting there as efficiently as possible as we strive for purposeful abundance and search for our personal legend. What is the impact that we're going to make on this world? What's in your bag is in your bag. What's in mine? Peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and everything we do in integrity. And on that note, please make sure that you like and subscribe on your way out. Maybe even share the show with a few friends and family. And I'll see y'all soon. Ew.